What happened to you about 2 years ago?
Okay. Well, I just started seventh grade,
Mm-hmm.
and I was getting into the groove of things. Like seventh grade in my school, it's all the way on the fifth floor,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd have to start from the third floor and go up the stairs like a lot of flights because it's a big school.
Uh-huh.
And I would every time I would go up, I would feel like really dizzy and really exhausted. And I thought it was just like being a wimp. Like, oh no, you'll get used to it. But then
Mm-hmm.
after a while, it started getting really really bad, and I think it was Columbus Day weekend that year
Mm-hmm.
that I woke up and I just collapsed and I almost fainted, and I went downstairs. My mommy was sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
so I waited on the couch till she woke up, and I ended up falling asleep. It was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. She saw me out there, and we went to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And when we got there, they took some blood tests, and they couldn't find a vein, and it was it was really crazy. They had to stick me a bajillion times. It was crazy. And the whole time I was just crying because I don't like needles.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't
Me
like
either.
them.
Those are bad.
And,
Needles are bad.
After they took the blood sample, they brought me to the ICU,
Uh-huh.
and it took them a while to come down, but
Mhm.
they had me on fluids and stuff. And they said that I had leukemia, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because I didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay.
I just thought I was like sick or something,
Uh-huh.
not like cancer sick.
Yeah.
So but then once they told us like what exactly it was, that's when I was like, oh my god, you know. And then they took us in a helicopter
Oh.
because they needed to get me there really fast because
Mhm.
apparently I had it for a good 2 years without
Wow.
knowing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was just starting 5th grade, and throughout
wow.
5th grade it started getting more aggressive as I
Okay.
got along. So once it got to 7th grade, it was really bad. As soon as I got to Lehigh Valley, that's where they took me,
Uh-huh.
they started me right away on chemo in the
Oh.
ICU.
Wow.
So that's how bad it was, and I didn't even know.
Oh my goodness.
And so after
What type of chemo? Like, so they did chemo, was it every day or?
yeah, it was like, okay, so it was, I actually know as the amount of treatments I had 156 treatments of chemo.
Wow.
Yeah, I had, it was 4 sets of treatments
Uh-huh.
of the first 2 sets. Well, the first set was for 8 days,
Uh-huh.
and each day I had 4 in the day
Okay.
for multiple hours for each one. And
Okay.
the second one was again 8 days with 4 treatments. But then the second and the third was 8 days with 5 treatments. And then the fourth was 8 days again, but with 6 treatments.
Wow.
So they just kept tacking up on and on
Oh.
because the type of leukemia I had was
Mhm.
AML,
Okay.
and it's a 9-month treatment,
Mhm.
but it's more usual in adults, and it's more
Oh,
aggressive
okay.
than the one that the kids have. So
Okay.
that's why it was so many treatments.
Treatments back to back. Wow. So when you were going through the treatments, I mean, did you feel anything in your body when they were doing the treatment?
Not exactly. It was more because how they put the treatment in me, I had this thing called a central line,
Uh-huh.
and it was like this really long tube that went through my main vein to the
Uh-huh.
heart,
Okay.
so it would like distribute through my body fast.
Okay.
And so when I was taking the chemo, I really didn't feel it, but I
Okay.
could taste it. 'Cause
You could taste
It
it?
was really gross.
I was gonna say, what did it taste like?
It was bad.
Just bad.
Yeah,
taste?
it's just bad.
Oh my goodness.
The chemo itself didn't hurt, but the after effects hurt. It was like
Yeah.
I
what
couldn't
was it
really
like?
get up, and I couldn't really I don't know, do normal stuff. Like I couldn't eat solids, or else I would just throw it up.
Wow.
And they were getting scared because every week I was like the first week I was in the ICU, I lost like 10 pounds
10 pounds
because
in
I
one
wouldn't
week?
eat anything.
Wow.
So they had to put me on a lot of steroids to keep me eating, but even when I did eat, I would just throw it up and stuff.
Wow.
And when I was in the shower, I couldn't really stand up because leukemia is a blood cancer,
Uh-huh.
and it affects your blood, and if your blood count's low,
Uh-huh.
you're not strong. So I would
Just fall. Wow. So you just had to really